Hello, and welcome to the last review of February, where again it's tale from my backlog, because that's what the vast majority of these reviews are going to be for this year. Is me chipping away at my backlog, for this year, and one of those movies was for Terminator Salvation. So I delved into the Terminator series last year with Terminator 1, which I really did not like. Then I watched, Terminator 2, and I was happy enough leaving it there because at the time I thought that there shouldn't have been any of the others that came after. It should have ended with Terminator 2 with Skynet being foiled and never coming to fruition. But then AJ, over at AJ's Movie Place, as he tends to do, he convinced me to give Terminator 3 a shot. And I did. I watched it, I reviewed it last year, I really enjoyed it. More than I thought I would, considering what I've been told by other fans of the franchise was after T2, they all suck. And I was pleasantly surprised that T3 actually wasn't all that bad. Um, and then for this month, my main goal with this month is last year I started certain series. I want to make a dent in that again with another review. And I just finished watching Terminator Salvation. And my thoughts are it's not bad, but it's not great. So, yeah, this 2 hour film could have easily been maybe like an hour and a half. So the main reason why AJ convinced me to give Salvation a shot after I had initially planned to just, finish with T2, after he convinced me to give T3 a shot, was two things. One, it was actually set during the human robot war, which is what I've been wanting to see ever since watching the first Terminator film. And the other reason why AJ convinced me to watch it is because Anton Yelchin is in this movie. Um he plays Kyle Reese, John Connor's father. And so that piqued my interest because even though the only three films that I've seen Anton Yelchin in prior to watching Salvation was the Kelvin Star Trek films, I really loved his character and I was really saddened by his death back in 2016. And I've been meaning to branch out more into his discography. And even though he's not really in this movie all that much, and he doesn't really have all that much to do anyway, I was still happy seeing Anton Yelchin in this film. It came out the same year Star Trek '09 did. And the moment I seen him, or the no, it's actually the moment I heard his voice, a smile crept on my face because, like I said, I genuinely do like Anton Yelchin as a actor, even though this is now the fourth film that I have seen. So, Terminator Salvation basically takes place in 2018, some years after, um, the start of the human war with against Skynet, that we see at the end of the third film, where we again pick right back up with John Connor, now played by Christian Bale. And I kind of have a fan theory ish about that as to explain why John Connor looks different compared to T3 versus this. Obviously, the logical thing is he's played by a different character. But in universe, I think it's because of all the time travel shenanigans. There's been at least three time travel shenanigans before I get on to Genesis and Dark Fate or Dark Frontier, whatever the most recent Terminator film is. Um, you know, My in-universe explanation is the same that was given in the Ben 10 cartoon series. You mess with time travel, there's gonna be some ramifications. And this just happens to be one of them, that each time we see John Connor is played by a different actor. Um, but anyway, yeah. So John Connor is, leading the resistance. We also get to hear that, a lot of people see him as the Messiah because he knew about all of this, and look at John Connor as the savior. But then there's a bunch of people that just don't. And so in the beginning of the film, we discovered that, you know the robots, Skynet robots, are um, keeping humans. They're kidnapping humans and starting the process on the T-800, which we obviously know as is the Arnie T-800 that we've seen in the first three films. Um, and so obviously he does, John Connor isn't really in the film all that much as well. I mean, he is, he is the main character. We do follow him for quite a bit of it, but then when we get introduced to, I think his name was Marcus. Um, because I'm just looking here at the back of the DVD here to see if yeah, Marcus, right, um, played by Sam Worthington. Um, he's in the beginning of the film we see him with Helena Bottom Carter, and where he basically signs away. He signs something, and then we see him be murked. Um, and so then he comes back. He doesn't know anything that's going on, and we instantly I knew he was a Terminator. Didn't think he'd be the T-800. But what this film basically sets up is the introduction to the T-800s, that they're human, well, not human, but they can pass as human. And like even later on in the film, other Terminators just don't recognize him as one of their own. Probably because again, this is like there's only one out in the universe, and that is Marcus. And I like that. I like that we get to see the backstory of how they came about, and then later on in the film when Kyle Reese gets captured, um, and they find out that Marcus is part Terminator, and he tries to escape. Because as well the military have think they found this a way to win the war against them by finding this frequency that if they use it against these Terminators, these machines, it will stop them. Turns out that was all fabrication to reveal themselves, and so Marcus breaks into the Skynet HQ. So does John Connor, in order to track down his dad. And whilst he's in there, after the Skynet AI fixes up Marcus, and he sees they use the face of Helena Bottom Carter. Um, that's when we see a terrible CG de-aged Arnie. Now I can cut that some slack because it's 2009. You know, the de-aging someone can be very very finicky. I mean that's why you don't necessarily see it all that much. You do see it in now with Star Wars with a de-aged Mark Hamill. Recently as well in Spider-Man No Way Home, Doc Ock. Alfred Marina had to be wanted to be de-aged. He didn't want to go in as his actual age, um, and they did the same for Princess Leia in what one was it? Rogue One. Yeah, it was Rogue One. So it it can work and it can't work at the, it's early growing pains. So that's why I can kind of forgive it. But yeah, like I said, the film's okay. It's not bad, it's not great. Uh, for what it is, I've found some enjoyment. I like seeing all the new designs of Terminators, motorbikes and giant freaking mechs. Um, and I liked learning how the T-800s came into effect, and then obviously since John survives at the end of this film, it's gonna, he's with the knowledge of they need dogs to be able to tell who's Terminator and who's not, is going to be like play a pivotal role moving forward in order for him to then get killed by the T-800 for then to send his father back to fuck his mother in order for Sarah Connor to get pregnant with him, and then the cycle continues. But yeah, I will definitely check out the last two Terminator films at some point this year. I'm not going to say for definite when I plan to uh, cover them, but I definitely will when I add them into the collection. So yeah, I'm glad that I watched it. I'm glad that I am watching it. I still believe that this franchise should have ended with T2. That everything was going to be hunky dory. That they prevented Skynet from happening, and John and Sarah got to live a happy, normal mother son life as much as they could, But hey, that's just me. So thank you all for watching. Let me know what you thought of the film in the comments down below. And that's the last of the movie reviews. But the actual last, no, yeah, this is the last thing for this month. This is the last video for February. Um, so I still actually have to go and watch the TV shows that I have reviewed already for this month. So yeah, I will see you all in March for more movie reviews, movie and TV show reviews. So I'll see you all next time.